Hi everybody. So in this video I want to talk about witchcraft and how it works. Okay, witchcraft in any way or form that is practiced has one goal, and the goal of witchcraft is domination. Okay, the goal of witchcraft is domination, and that goal has two methods that it uses, and the method, either of these methods, they use one or the other or both, depending on the situation. The two methods that witchcraft uses is manipulation or intimidation, or both. But the goal of the manipulation or intimidation is to to dominate, to control. Okay, and then another thing that witchcraft does is that it uses okay, I'm not gonna go there. Okay, so manipulation, intimidation, that's the goal, that's the methods that it uses, but the goal of that is control. And what is control? The control or domination is to deprive you of your ability to self-determinate, to self-rule, to self-guide. It robs you of the ability to self-determinate. It robs you of your ability to consciously guide yourself. You become an unconscious being. I know I'm from Nigeria, and they used to have these movies where people do what do you call them, love potion things, and the person loves them like a crazy person, but the person is not conscious because they used the witchcraft or voodoo on them. They're not conscious anymore. Okay, they're not conscious. They become in love but unconsciously, and so even though they are working and that smiling with the person that did the voodoo on them, they're not actually consciously choosing to love the person, because that witchcraft has taken from them the ability to self-determinate, to make that choice. Okay, so now witchcraft uses, like I said, it uses either intimidation or manipulation, or both. Now manipulation is where they will use that if they are trying to get you to do something, and whatever they're trying to get you to do, they're using something to get you to do that. So whatever it is they're using, they're going to manipulate it to create the picture that they want you to have, so that picture that you have will influence your feelings and influence your thought process, influence your mind, in order to get you to where they are able to control and dominate you. Now, if it is something that requires the use of force, they may start out with intimidation first, and if intimidation does not work, then they may go to brutal force. The brutal force will still intimidate, because it will intimidate you into doing exactly what they want you to do. So the hallmark of witchcraft is that the person on whom it is practiced on loses the ability to consciously direct themselves. They think they do, but they don't. Do you understand what I'm saying? They think they do, but they don't, because their action, their thoughts, their feelings, their attitude is being influenced by a power that is outside of them. They are no longer the center of their own gravity. They have given that power away to something else, without awareness or not. Okay? Now, this topic came about because I was upset earlier today, because I feel like a lot of people are not willing to learn. It's like a huge chunk of our society are almost in a state of it's like I always ask myself, I always wonder, am I crazy? I mean, is something wrong with me? That I'm like, for instance, let's talk about, I've been a nurse, ICU nurse now for what? Probably 12, 13 years now. This is not to say that the pandemic is not real or not. That's not my point. My point is this. I have yet to see. I was driving somewhere today and they said, whatever they call it, disinfect, wash your hands, something. I'm yet to see a pathogen that has more than one mode of transmission. More than one. In other words, if it's tuberculosis, it's droplet. If it's HIV, no, I'm never going to go there. I'm not going to go there. That is a totally different thing. If it's whatever, let's say flu, is airborne. Airborne and droplet are two different things. You use two different masks for that. The mask that you use for TB, because it's droplet, it's not the same mask you use for airborne. Two different masks. They use the N95 for TB and a regular mask for the droplet. And then you have like hepatitis, which is blood contact. You know, you inject yourself with a needle of a contaminated person or whatever. Every pathogen that I know has one mode of transmission. I have never seen a pathogen that has 4 different modes of transmission. 4: droplet, airborne, contact, and what else? At least those 3 at least. Droplet, airborne, contact. At the same time. Only one pathogen. So, what that tells me is that it's either you don't know what you're talking about, or you're not telling me everything. Because that you don't add up. So that makes me then do my own homework to figure out exactly what we're dealing with here. But a lot of people are not willing to do that. A lot of people are not willing to do that because they have lost the ability to self-determinate. They have lost the ability to consciously direct their own thought. To consciously think for themselves. And that's why a lot of my posts sound crazy to you. You do. I get it. You do. And no, I don't make my posts for people today. No. I make my posts as a legacy. So that one day when one person wakes up and realizes, if they haven't taken down all my videos, then that they may find somebody who will provide a direction. Does this make sense? Witchcraft is everywhere. It's not, you guys are looking at the ones in the covens and looking at the ones in the house. You are not seeing the one that's happening right in front of you. You're not seeing the one happening. The goal of witchcraft is to make you an unconscious being. I had a dream one time, and in that dream, there was a person in my backyard, and I told the person to come out to the front so I can give you food because I felt it was hungry. So I went to my fridge, grabbed the whole chicken, came out, and as I opened my front door, that thing was a woman, but she had grabbed my dog's neck and was killing my dog. And I realized that woman was a Walking Dead. If you've seen the movie, the thing Walking Dead series, it was a zombie, an unconscious being that was still walking around, but she was unconscious. There were so many of them standing on this side, so it wasn't only her. And I don't know what happened after that, but I know that we're heading there, where the unconscious will start destroying the conscious, because that's what they'll be told to do. And I know that that's where the society is headed. You guys need to just understand and pay attention.